Hi there, I'm Krista, and I'm the author and creator of the food blog Dissocio in the Kitchen. Today we're going to make some stuffed tomatoes, which are the perfect little Christmas package for your holiday dinner. Okay, so the first step, we're going to take our tomato and we're going to cut off the top here. I like to call that his little hat or chapeau if we're in France being fancy. Then we're going to take our serrated knife and go around the tomato. We're going to score it down the center to help us get the guts out, so to speak. And then we're going to take our spoon and we're just going to start scooping. And so once we have the inside kind of cleared out, we're going to place it upside down to drain on a paper towel, just like that. And we're going to take 1/3 cup of milk and we're going to pour it over some dry bread. It's a little bit stale. If you don't have stale bread, you can dry it out easily in the oven on low. We're gonna let that soak for a few minutes while we come over here and we're gonna start to chop our garlic. So we're just gonna kind of rough chop 2 to 3 cloves of garlic, kind of whatever is your preference. And then we're gonna take 1 shallot and we're gonna roughly chop that. Again, it's gonna cook, so it doesn't have to be exactly precise or too small. We're gonna take our shallot, we're gonna toss it in here with the pork, along with the chopped garlic. Then we're gonna take about 2 tablespoons of Dijon mustard. I'm gonna put that right in there. We're gonna take our dried bread that has absorbed all the milk at this point, and we wanna leave any excess in the bowl. And then we're just gonna start to mix all of this up. So the reason we wanna use the bread soaked in milk is because we need the bread as a binder to hold everything together, but we don't want it to get dry. So that's why we use the milk to keep everything nice and moist so that our sausage mixture stays nice and juicy when it's cooking inside the tomato. We're gonna start stuffing our tomatoes. They're nice and dry at this point, so we're gonna flip them over. Now we're gonna take and season the inside of the cavity with a little bit of gray sea salt, some pepper, and then we're gonna take a little bit of panko breadcrumbs just to put it down there in the bottom in case the tomatoes didn't dry out all the way. And now let's start stuffing. Just about like that, right to the tip top. We're gonna take our hazelnuts and we're gonna just put a little layer right on top. These have been toasted. Next up, some more breadcrumbs. This is gonna give it a nice crunch. Okay, next up, it's time to bake, and I like to use a nice heavy cast iron skillet, and we're gonna put these in here, and then I'm gonna drizzle them with olive oil and place the top back on. Place these in here. Just like so. Place on his little hat, just like that. And then I'm gonna put a little bit more olive oil. Now it's time to put these guys in the oven. So we're gonna let those guys bake at 400 degrees for about 30 minutes, but you can check them after 20 just to make sure. And here we have our beautiful stuffed tomato. You can find this recipe and a lot more at DissocioInTheKitchen.com. Happy holidays.